Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a different kind of build. It's a rebuilt car, but this was long before my video days. But this time, the afternoon crew is gonna do the work, and I'm gonna be the afternoon crew. So I'll be texting and playing on my phone and occasionally lifting tires while she does the work. So first thing we're gonna do is jack the car up.
How high does it need to go?
All the way.
What?
I guess you're working on it. If you want to work on the ground, then be my guest.
Good? Is it good?
She decided jacking it up as high as she could is probably a good idea. So the afternoon crew's Scion TC sounds like there's a biplane following it around everywhere. So I say it's the right front wheel bearing. We'll find out if I'm right. So pull the wheel off. Hey, that's supposed to be my job. Can't get those crossfitters away from those tires, I guess. So now we'll pull the caliper off. I'll take the whole bracket and everything. We'll hang it up so there's no stress on the brake hose. Pull the rotor off. Now we'll pull the bolt out for the ABS sensor. Bend the counter pin back.
Is it this size?
Should be. Easy. That face you make when you just drop the nut in the sewer. We're gonna have to hit it a little harder than that.
This is like awkward. I don't know how to go about this.
Yeah. To make this video less than 4 hours, I'll give it a hit. Now we're on about the drive axle.
I'm be safe and sorry. My hand roll off the rest. You scared me enough.
Now we can unbolt the strut from the knuckle. Keep going. Keep going. There you go.
Okay.
Now push this out. Tab the drive axle out of the knuckle. Okay, I'll get it. Bearing sounds noisy to me. Now we'll unbolt the ball joint. I'm going to knock the hub out of the bearing. You can press it out, but what fun is that? Now I'll take the snap ring out that holds the bearing in to the knuckle. The outer race of the bearing stays on the hub, so we'll cut a notch in it, knock it off with the air chisel. Always need an excuse to use the air chisel. So now we're going to press our bearing out of our knuckle. "14 years of Illinois rust makes this a little difficult."
Yay! always stop it or lose it.
So now I got a new bearing ready to go in. Put a little oil on it, help it slide in there a little easier. Push the bearing into the knuckle. A little more oil. Push the hub into the bearing. Now we'll put the snap ring in that holds the bearing in. And we'll make sure it's fully engaged in a little slot by tapping it all around. And put the whole assembly back in. The drive axle in. Screw up a couple nuts on the ball joint and one bolt. Tighten them up. Now you can put our bolts in for our strut.
Is this going the right way? Hope so.
I'll tighten up our drive axle. And someone had to go fishing
I got a bite!
for the nut they dropped. Tie rod end in.
I can't get it to screw on. I am doing it the right way, right?
Tighten it up. Put the cotter pin in. Bend it over. Now we'll put the ABS sensor back in.
Let's see if I can get this screw.
Gotta get my socket back. The rotor on. Seemed to be a challenge.
Is that on?
Slide our caliper back on.
There you go.
Tighten it up.
So now we have to do an oil change. I know, and now I can't find it. And I can't pop the hood, so there goes Scott. The little cap thing off.
Just couldn't do what you were doing.
So I have to spin it all the way around.
You can probably take it off with your fingers now.
But then it's gonna get all over me.
Be quick. Quick like a bunny. Don't drop the oil plug in the oil pan.
Do I need to hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not want oil on my hand.
So when it gets there, you go.
Ew! Thanks, Scott. That's a lot of oil. So once the oil was out, we put the screw back in. And then tightened it. Whoa! Good?
I don't know. Let me use my torque wrench.
Scott had to make sure that it was fine because he didn't trust me.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then we had to twist this other thing off. The actual oil something, maybe filter, I don't know. And then twist the new one back on. And now we pour the oil in. Pretty easy. Put the cap back on. And hold this.
Press and hold. Turn the key on.
Now I had to reset the light.
There you go. All the dots go away.
I don't think the light was on, but I had to reset it.
Now they did.
Let go. You're done. So now we got to torque our drive axle in.
am not good at this, I don't think.
But the former afternoon crew doesn't quite have enough weight. Somehow I got enlisted for this one. Put our detent in for our drive axle so our nut doesn't back itself off.
Okay, it's time to put the tires on.
I think I got the eye roll right. Yay, afternoon crew. Pull the jack stands out. Time for a test drive. Okay, we're back for round 2 for our wheel bearing caper.
He was wrong.
It turns out she doesn't listen when I told her it was clearly the left side. So we're gonna try the left side this time.
We have to take the lug nuts off first. And the tire. Scott should have done that because he's afternoon crew. I think I'm taking the, I don't know, caliper? No, that's not right. Yeah, maybe. Caliper off. Rotor. I had to do some little twist thing to get something off. The bolt. Knocked it loose. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't let the wrench hit anything. Taking out more bolts here. More bolts. This whole thing's coming out. Now Scott has to hit the other part out. And keep hitting it. There it is. I have no idea what he's cutting, but he's cutting something to pop something off. And now he's taking out a little metal thingy. And now he is, I think this part's the bearing. Has to pop it out of it and put the new one in it. And I think that's just, I don't even know, rust something. Oh, that's the new one going in. And then he puts that metal thing back. Lots of tapping. Something has to go back into place here. And more bolts get put back in the bottom and the top.
I think I have this the right way. I could be wrong.
And more bolts in the middle. And this thing needs to go in the hole. Something with driving, I think. And then I screw the bolt back on, I guess. Scott fixing my mistakes, I guess. You're giving me things with power. What do you expect?
Until it gets tight.
Ratcheting something. Oh, that's the rotor that we had to buy. And we'll put it on, and then the calipers back on it. More bolts.
Actually, I'm pretty sure last time I couldn't even get it on by hand.
And I'm trying to put something on. Screw of some sort. Bolt. I don't know.
Is that farther?
I think Scott said I wasn't supposed to put it too far, so I got scared.
No, but I'm scared.
Okay. Hold this. Lean on that.
Huh?
And struggle. Got it. And then I gotta click again. Done. And now afternoon crew's finally doing his job, and he's putting the tire back on. So of course Baby Blue had more things wrong with her. We had to change the headlight on the passenger side. So I just had to twist it out, pull out the bulb. Don't touch the glass of the new bulb. Put it back in, plug it back in. And that's pretty much it. And as you can see, now it's all pretty.
Okay. So the passenger side headlight has a bad seal. And rather than pulling it out, trying to reseal it, we're just going to do it the easy way. We're going to let that moisture out by drilling some holes in the bottom of the light. So to get to it, we're going to have to pull the bumper down.
Oh, stick.
We'll drill a couple holes in the bottom of the light to let the water out, and all that condensation inside will dry out after the light's been on for an hour or so. And this is the next day. The light was completely clear inside. Been clear ever since. So, since we got the condensation out, we might as well clean them up. They're a little foggy. I buffed them about 6 years ago when I rebuilt this car. Time to do it again. So we're just going to tape it off so we don't get any compound all over the place. We don't actually buff any of the painted parts.
This is like a big deal.
Put a little buffing compound on. Work it in kind of slow so we don't throw it everywhere. And we can speed it up. Start buffing our headlight. Now we got all that done. Now we can polish it. Work the polish in so we don't throw it everywhere when we start the polisher. And start polishing. Now our headlight's all clear. A couple hours with the headlight on, it'll be nice and dry inside. So there's your after. There's your before. Alright, I did my side.
That's not fair, that because like I helped with your side with the taping.
It's your car.
Whatever. Now we're gonna do the headlight on the driver's side. First we had to tape it off. Paper, same thing, just so it's not getting on the rest of Baby Blue.
Push up, helper.
Put, I don't know, the cleaning one, maybe, on first. This thing's a lot more powerful than you think it is, but just sort of had to go back and forth for a while. And I got yelled at for not getting the side, so I had to get the side. And then I think this one's the polish. Had to sort of rub it in, and then you use the power after. Same thing, make sure you get the front and the side. And now it's looking a lot better than it did before. And then you just gotta rip off all the paper and the tape, because you don't want to drive around with that on your car because it'll look weird.
So she did the majority of this job herself. I was just there in the background, coaching her along and helping her out when she got stuck. I also did a couple of the parts I didn't think she was quite ready for yet. Maybe just for job security. So a little background on the afternoon crew. The first car she ever worked on was the Yuckin. That was less than 6 months ago. The amount that she's learned is simply amazing to me. She may not know all the fancy terms, but that doesn't matter. She knows how to do the work, and that's what counts. As soon as she learns all the terms, she'll probably be replacing me. But for right now, I'm still in charge and I make the rules. The rules are, you do the work, you make the video, you have to edit it. So, she did all the editing on this video. I think it turned out much better than my first video. So drop her a like, and leave her a comment. Let her know she did a great job. Who knows, with enough support, maybe we can get her to do her own build.
All right, we all know I'm a way better mechanic than Scoot. So if you want to see me do more work, subscribe, like it, all of that YouTube stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching.